It's Talk Point again on Lagos Television, and you're welcome. We're happy that you can join us. Today on Talk Point, we'll be looking at the Take Back movement, which started today, although the law enforcement agents said it shouldn't hold, but eventually it held this morning in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, and also in Lagos. And of course, the reasons for it are not far-fetched. They're asking they're demanding for some things from the government. They want better governance. They want the repeal of Cyber Crimes Act and everything. If you look at what is happening there, you find out that so many things were part of their demands. If we can have the footage of what is happening, I would like us to quickly have that footage of what is happening or what happened actually some hours back under the bridge along Towing Street in Lagos. Yes, we can see the protest, the protest there. They are asking, they're demanding for better governance. They're demanding that Cyber Crime Act be repealed. They're saying that the abuse of human rights should stop. That is what they are demanding for. But of course, we know that the government and the security agencies are also saying they want things that would ensure that better. So they are actually there to ensure peace, and we can see them there. They are actually talking to the media. But I have two of them in the studio that will be discussing what actually happened some hours ago along Allen Avenue up to Bafemi Way, and they also got to the Lagos State House of Assembly where they terminated their protest. I have two gentlemen in the studio here. I have with me to my immediate right, I have Daniel Babatunde Adetayo. You're a member of the Take Back movement. It's nice to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I also have Rauf Ishola. You're the deputy coordinator of the Take It Back movement in Lagos. It's nice to have you on top. Yes. Let me come to you, Daniel. What actually is your demand, or what are your demands?
Okay, just like I think you answered some of them. So basically, we want the government to repeal the Cyber Crime Act. Okay, as this is targeted, at journalists and then activists and whoever seems to be against the inefficiencies of those in power. So, and again, we're asking for a better, governance, governing system that makes life better for us, because we are all struggling to cope with the current situation of the country, which you and I can testify to, So we have, like I said, they are all encompassing. So many, numerous, as you can see.
Okay, let me quickly go to Rauf Ishola. You are the deputy coordinator in Lagos State. Yes, why did you have to go out when the government says it is actually looking at ways of bringing better governance? Why did you have to still go out there on the protest?
Yeah, we have to come outside because the government are behaving as if there's nobody to hold them accountable. And the whole situation is looking like we are just living in a country that is an open slave camp, whereby people are just going and coming, doing their things, but their take-home is nothing to write home about. So we need the government to be accountable to the people. That's why we have to embark on this protest. And the protest did not just start today. It has started online over 30 days. There was a 30 days ranting challenge online that people were talking, saying all sorts of things, all sorts of demand. But right now, we feel like, okay, today, let's all come out and make our grievances known to these people, the people that govern us.
I'm bothered because, I'm bothered because if the government says it is already looking into some of these issues, and we are seeing signs of some of the things that the government is also tackling, don't you think is wise for us to hold on as youths, as Nigerians, to give them the opportunity to do certain things. And after some time, if there is no improvement, then we can now say, look, we have demanded for this. It has not yet been done. Yes.
Okay, so thank you. Like you said, the government are doing some things. What are those things? Can we see them?
Are you saying you have not seen anything that the government is
Definitely,
doing?
absolutely nothing. And
How?
I'll tell you
How?
the reason.
Okay.
Okay, so we are in a dispensation where the government has decided to privatize almost everything. Educational system is being privatized. You can attest to that. How
No, I cannot. Except you tell the audience. You say educational system is privatized. I need to know. Is it that we don't have public universities? Is it that only people go to private universities? We need to know if this education has been privatized, because Nigerians also need to know, and those outside.
Okay, so if you look at it, according to calculations, how do you think, which particular one did you think the people patronize more, government or private? So the inefficiencies of government running the educational system properly has given a leverage to individuals who gives out, they call all sort of outrageous amounts, and as well, you can see that even the government school, you can see outrageous increase in school fees. So what will bring about those increments, if not that there is a touch of privatization in that aspect?
Okay, I'm going to still come back to you, but I need to also explain here that the world over, there are private institutions and there are public institutions.
Definitely.
Now, you now have the choice to pick either from the public or from the private. But we also have situations where they say, oh, so schools are doing better than so schools because they have more funds. Don't you think it's a way of matching up with the private hands, so that if everything balances up, and looking at what the government is doing through the loan that it has provided for people to go to school, don't you think that is another way out instead of crumbling the educational system? Okay,
so that loan you just mentioned is actually a trap. You are entrapping the people.
How?
Okay, so someone who cannot afford basic needs like house, that's accommodation, you cannot afford 3 square meals, and you're asking such kind of a person to come and acquire a loan, how do you expect the person to pay back?
No, wait, let's get these things good and straight.
Okay.
If I need education, additional education, or educational qualification, and I feel I cannot sponsor myself, and there's an opportunity for me to go for loan, which I'll probably repay back gradually with less interest when I start working.
Okay.
Don't you think that will be more convenient for me than to just sit down idle and lose all those years and do nothing because I feel it's a trap? What kind of trap are you looking at? Are you talking about?
So I'm sorry, I would have to throw back the question to you that, where are the jobs? Is it the same government that have refused to create jobs? The same government that will tell you to go and create jobs, all because they have refused to create an enablement for you to thrive. So, and you can attest to it. We have millions of graduates, so-called graduates, that are either not employable or there are no jobs to do. Why I said either not employable? Looking at universities, government universities, like I was saying in a particular interview, a computer student that's come to the university how many computers are working? How many computers are visible? So if such kind of a person graduates today, how do you want the person to be employable? Are we still going to blame this student for that? It is the inefficiency of the government, because if these stuffs are available and they practice it the way they should, they will be employable. And then if the government is actually investing in areas that accommodates this same graduate you're talking about, then it will be easy. But if I graduate, I'm here looking for a job, the government is expecting me to pay back the loan.
But the condition for the loan is that when you start working, so there is a proviso there. If you have not started working, you cannot start repaying the loan. So I thought I should also make that clear so that we will understand. Yes, you want to say something?
So,
Yes.
what I want to come in from is, number one, the government does not need to give the student a loan.
Okay.
It is not the job of the government. What we need from government is grants, student grants, that can make people study better, that can give them enabling environment. It is not loan. We don't need loan to, I don't need loan to become a master's holder, a master's degree holder. I don't need the loan to become a PhD holder, because eventually when I finish studying, where is the job? Who is ready to pay me that sustainable amount that is going to sustain me, sustain the loan that I've collected a few years back just to study? So who are those going to help me pay back those loans? So that's why I said what we need is grants, and that is why, that's what Take It Back movement I'll be standing on. We need grants, student grants, not loan.
Okay, if you say you need student grants, what kind of grants? Because there will be categories of studies that you want to embark on. For those that are undergraduates that want to become graduates, what kind of grants are you asking for? Have you thought about it, and how much will it be? Is it going to be spread over the years, or maybe a one-off thing? Because that is also very key. Are you thinking that direction?
Yeah, what you're talking about right now is maybe they are paying us off once. No, when you mean a grant should be something that will come in yearly, that can help your tuition fee as you move in your educational career. It is not something that you just give students once, like what they do in universities these days. They just give out bursary, and the bursary are just token. So because I learned that bursaries in some states. But what we need as student grants, we need something tangible for all students that is accessible for students. So after you finish, you don't know that you don't start thinking of you paying back somebody. But the government will know how to get their money back from you through their taxation. Two different way of taxing, and we have multiple taxing system in Nigeria already, and which is part of what we are tackling today. It's part of the reason why we are outside. We have different kind of multi-taxational system whereby you wake up every morning, you are falling into different kind of tax. Coming to work today, you fell into that tax link. So everyone is just moving on take home, where you don't have something really to take home.
Okay, I like to probe further on some of these things. Now, your movement is aimed at ensuring better governance.
Yeah.
Yes, you're putting the government and others on their toes, which is very good. Now, what are you ready? If the government says, okay, we're doing this, we're doing that, are you ready to support us? In which area do you think you can support the government to get things done better?
Okay, this is one. This is one. You know, why I said this is one. Like the protest is one. What we are doing is calling them to cognizance that these things are not done the way it should be in our own interest. Looking at the collective, audience, So we are calling them to the cognizance that please check this, do this, and we believe the people will be fine by this. So for now, that's because you have to be in an elective position for you to put, to be like for those in the House of Assembly, they were elected to be there. And so that's the only way we can come in. And if things are still going the wrong way and they want to inculcate you, you will only find yourself being, before you know it, you start rubbing minds with them the way they have been doing it, and you'll be lost in the whole thing. So from the outside, what we are doing is to call them, to look into their policies. The people are dying, and this is one way to help them. If I were to be in their shoes, I shouldn't take whoever is calling my attention to stuff like that as an enemy.
Okay, yes, if I want to agree with you to some extent, I also need to let you know that when people are outside, it's always easier
said and done.
To talk. But when you get there, you find something a whole lot different and you want to try and change it. But some systemic problems that you need to tackle with, you have to tackle rather, may hinder you until you're able to get those things out. Now, issues have been happening in the past, over the years, over the decades, and we have not really, somebody is now there to say, okay, I want to change that system. Don't you think it's a way of supporting the leadership to say, look, we want, yes, we're protesting, but we want you to do this. We will support you to do this. How fast can you do it? Don't you think it's also a way of reaching out to the government?
Yes, that should be their response anyways. To us, we have come to them, but are they ready to listen to us? Because they were not there to listen to us. So we are lending our helping hand in our way, in our own way. But we got there, they were not even there.
Yeah, well,
So-
if you say you're doing, okay, let's put the cards on the table.
Yeah.
Now you say you're doing a protest. You according to what Rauf said, it started online like
The
30
ranting,
days
yeah,
back.
it was ranting,
Yeah. You put government on notice. Government is saying we're looking at efforts to tackle it. Then, from what the IG also said, the Inspector General of Police, that look, the process is ongoing. Then the police also is having a National Police Day. Can you give us some time to finish it before you go? But do not go out on this protest so that you won't create issues.
But why is the IG so concerned about the National Police Day? Why not the citizen? Because they are out there to protect us. So him telling us to not to go out and embark on this protest today is just like you asking the citizens to shut up their mouths and not say anything when they needed to demand for something of their rights. And we coming outside today is just for them to know that we still have a long way to go. Because getting to the State House today now and the place is empty. I heard they are on permanent recess, and we.
That's the assembly.
Yeah,
Lagos State House of Assembly.
They are on permanent recess, and these are people that are being paid by taxpayers' money. For goodness' sake, so how do you go on permanent recess for over 2 months?
Are you aware that they're actually on break because we just finished the Eid al-Fitr celebration and the Easter is coming? Are you aware that they're also on break?
But every civil servant that went on break during the Eid celebration are back to work. With you are back to work. After Easter celebration, Easter holiday, public holiday are just 2 days, Friday and Monday. Then what happened to them? Why are they not resuming back to their offices? What are they doing?
Okay, you want to say something?
Yes, as regards one of the lines you mentioned, you know, what we have found out of recent is that whenever we try to reach out to the government, you always find the IG of police coming to respond. What's the line? Is that his line of duty? What's his business? Just like today, we were telling them that they are not to attend to us. They are not in that jurisdiction to attend to our needs. We needed to speak to those we elected. Do you get? So, just like you said, we are asking for a better governance.
Yeah.
An IG will come and say it's in process. It's not in his jurisdiction.
The IG does not.
But he has to maintain law and order. That is his constitutional responsibility, to maintain law and order. If peradventure some disgruntled elements, I'll put it in quote now, creep into your protest and they hijack it, don't you think it will turn to something else?
But if they want to have their campaigns, can't somebody creep into
Those campaigns.
Does campaign not turn to something else? That's just a flimsy excuse.
Campaigns, no, we need to situate these things right. Campaigns, you know, when campaigns take up, they start their political campaigns. Everyone knows that it's a jamboree, they want to talk on policies, but this is a protest which you want the government to take action on. Avoiding people hijacking it is possibly why the security operatives are out there.
The IG has done, the work of the IG initially is to protect us, the protesters.
That's why we saw that they had to put policemen there, right?
Yeah, they only kept those policemen there just to barricade us from getting access to the Lagos State House of Assembly. Because, and I said it to, I think, one Tijani officer like that. I told him, like, last 2 months, we have people that came on political issues. I don't just want to go into details of that issue. We have people that are here with different buses, placard, hovering around these premises. You guys did nothing about it. But all of a sudden, we protested that we are here to demand for what is publicly our own right. Then you are barricading us not to get access into the house or not to get even someone to come and address the issue that we are bringing on board. So that is something that I don't even know where to start lamenting on this
Okay,
issue like this.
as we round up now, you have said your demands. That what exactly do you want from now? Are you still going to continue your online ranting, as you put it? I don't know. That's your terminology. Are you still going to go online to say, look, we have done this protest, but let's give the government some time to look into it before we continue our ranting, in quotes?
Okay, so for me, I really do not like that word ranting.
I think one of you mentioned it and said,
there was a
you said it.
challenge.
It wasn't me.
There was a
It wasn't me, so I'm using the word that you used.
So I really
So
do
except
not
you want to
like-
change it now.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
let's change it.
So according to our slogan, you see, take it back, action. So we don't rant, we take actions.
Okay.
That was ranting because we have, the situation we have now is that the government has successfully, put fear, instilled fear in people. So you can see millions of people ranting online, and you can see a few thousands that were here today. And that is the action behind our movements.
Okay.
We take actions. And then we want them to know that we are still coming again. Because as far as we are concerned, they've not even responded to us. They've not spoken to us. We've not heard anything. So they should be expecting us back.
Okay, yes, as we round up.
Yeah, they should be expecting us more. We are even going back online because this protest is not stopping on the streets. We are going back online to get those that ranted during the whole 30 days challenge to come out. We urge them to come out on our next day of action.
Okay, well, I am just here as somebody that will moderate, but I will not say you shouldn't do your protest. But when you're doing it, ensure that there is peace, because so that other people will not hijack.
There have always been peace.
Protests are
Just
So
like we have
make
today.
it peace,
Just
even if
like
you want
as
to
we
do
have
it
today.
on social media.
And sorry, I'm sorry, I had to.
Yes.
See, it has always been a peaceful protest.
We have that track
It
issue.
has always been the police that triggers.
Okay.
Because coming to protest, we only come with placard and our voices. That's all.
Okay, I want to thank you so much, Rauf Ishola, Deputy Coordinator, Take It Back Movement, Lagos State. Thank you for coming on Talk Point.
Thank you for having me.
I also want to thank you so much, Daniel Babatunde Adetayo, for being part of Talk Point.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for attending.
You're welcome.
Yes, on that note, we have come to the end of Talk Point. 767 and 112 are still the lines. Always call in times of emergency. Stay out of trouble. Ensure that you do what is right so that Lagos and indeed Nigeria can get better. I am Omolulu Sonru. Sign out.